Hello again. I tried to do this video earlier. I don't think it turned out well, so I'm going to try again with talking about the structure of the internet, aimed at people who are not as comfortable with computer topics. And kind of my motivation for this is because I have heard my kids talk about needing Wi-Fi when what they mean is a connection to the internet, and them not understanding the difference. I mean, they're 7. I guess it's forgivable. But I get the feeling that it's really more than them that have that difficulty. So I might as well jump in there and see if that works as a better starting point, because Wi-Fi is not intrinsically a connection to the internet. Wi-Fi is a means of creating a network, or at least a connection. Wi-Fi is a radio connection technology. It is a way for your computer or your cell phone or whatever other device, smart device that's out there, to use radio waves to connect to another endpoint that knows how to speak that language, or that is capable of speaking that language. So when we talk about needing an internet connection, there are actually a lot more steps beyond just Wi-Fi. Somebody's setting off some serious fireworks there. I'm in the car with road noise. Whatever. Not even the 4th of July anymore. Come on, people. Get over your fireworks. There are dogs and veterans that would prefer they not be going off in our neighborhoods. Right, so Wi-Fi is just a connection method, and the non-radio version of that is usually something called an Ethernet cable. You've probably heard the word Ethernet before, and it's really just a standard that controls how the cable is formed and how the connectors are formed, so that a computer can have the right port to plug the cable in, and the other end of the cable has to connect to the thing, the same thing that your Wi-Fi connection tries to connect to. And there are variants, but in general, what people have in their homes is called a router. And it could be an Ethernet router, a Wi-Fi router, or both. And so what the router does is basically give you a local area network, a network in your house. And every device that wants to connect to something uses that router. Your smart refrigerator, your smart garage door opener, your Ring, all of your cell phones, all of your computers, your smart TV, your Amazon Fire Cube, whatever else you have in the house that needs a connection to other things is likely going through your router. And when it does so without a wire, it's using Wi-Fi. When it is plugged in with a wire, it's probably Ethernet. There are some alternatives to that too, but it's probably Ethernet. Now that router by itself doesn't give you a connection to the internet either. All it does is act as kind of a switchboard, so that all of the devices in your house can make use of the one connection to the internet. And that's usually done through something called a modem, but because of the specific nature of that term, there are some places that are using different terms, but the general idea is that the modem, or whatever word they're using, is the thing that talks to your internet service provider. So in my area, Comcast is the biggest one of those, and Fidium is the one that we're using, because it's better than Comcast by leaps and bounds in every way imaginable, from performance to cost to customer service. It's just better. Sorry, I didn't mean that to turn into a marketing thing. I just have a special dislike of Comcast as a company because of their sketchy business practices. But different video. So that company that you pay a bill to is giving you a connection to the internet. It comes to your house through a cable line or a fiber line, or or even a satellite link, and once inside your house, like that device that they use to bring it there, usually called a modem, gives that connection to the router, and the router hears all the requests from all of your devices and can keep them organized, so that when you send a request for a web page, like if you're using a browser on your phone or computer, and you're trying to go to eBay or something like that, the router hears your computer's message, knows which device in the house made the request, passes it on to the modem passes it on to your internet service provider, and the provider connects you to the DNS network that actually knows where the computer is that can handle your request, and then that computer is set up as a web server, and it spits back the information through your internet service provider, gets down to your modem, goes to the router, and the router's like, oh, this is the answer to the request that your computer made. Here's the response. So your connection to the internet is actually really freaking complicated. You have your device, it connects to a router or switch or hub or whatever you happen to be using, but router's the most common right now. That router, which may actually be a combo device with the modem, will pass on the information to wait, I forgot where I was because I was paying more attention to driving. So the router, let me start over. Device connects to router to modem, which may be the same box, but are effectively two separate things inside that box. Then the modem part talks to your internet service provider, who is connected to the greater network that is the backbone of the internet, and then that via domain name service knows where the other computer is that has the information you're looking for, and it connects you essentially. So when you ask for Wi-Fi, you're not asking for an internet connection technically. You're connecting to a local area network. And if that local network has a connection to the internet that's shared with the network, then yeah, your Wi-Fi connection does lead to an internet connection, but it is not the same thing. Now, my stepson, when he was younger, enough with the fireworks. When he was younger, didn't really understand how a cell phone connection related to that. Like he didn't separate it well in his head. A cell phone with a connection to a cellular tower is, well, primarily a phone network connection, but because of the lovely improvements, you can have what is known as a data connection through your cell connection. So that way you don't have to be near a Wi-Fi router with a connection to the internet in order to visit web pages on your phone. As long as you have the cell tower connection with data going, you are essentially using your cell phone company as your internet service provider, and your phone has inside it what is essentially the modem. It doesn't need a router because it's the only device using it, unless you start a personal hotspot, and then your phone is acting as a Wi-Fi router. Whew. So much fun with interesting details. I hope maybe that clarified some things for you. I mean, obviously, if this is all stuff you already knew, I'm not sure why you watched the video. I hope it was at least entertaining. And if you can think of related things that I might be able to answer, I'd love to see questions in the comments. Yeah, I think that covers it pretty well. Quick recap before I stop the video. Phones, well, your smartphones, home computers, your smart devices like the security cameras, and I mentioned earlier the smart refrigerator, smart TVs that use a connection to the internet so that you can stream shows and movies to your TV. All of those things have to connect to the internet through a router, either with a wire or with a radio signal called Wi-Fi. The router knows how to talk to the modem. The modem talks to your internet service provider. Your internet service provider knows how to find everything everywhere on the internet, so that when you ask for a particular web page on your smartphone, it goes again through the router to the modem to your internet service provider to wherever the information is actually stored. And then, of course, the response comes right back through that exact same chain in the other direction. All right. Thanks for listening, and I'll look for comments and see you next time.